Okay, starting the work week on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good football team coming off their bye. Obviously, can talk about their offense and Tom Brady still playing at a very, very high level. Great receivers. Ran the ball really well in their last game versus Seattle, 44 rush attempts. So we'll see if there's a change in how they operate. They've number one pass attempts in the league so far, and they do it really well. So an explosive offense, really well coached. Coach Leftwich does a great job with that crew. On defense, Coach Bowles has always done it. Great defense, physical, big, up front, stout, long at corner, but they'll blitz you from every angle. They play coverage. They do it well. So it's an impressive group. And again, good players throughout that front. And then teams-wise, Coach Armstrong does a nice job, a veteran kicker, a rookie punter that's punting well, a couple real good returners, young players. So got to get to know these guys, and that's what today is about with our football team. And then putting together a plan and practicing that plan and understand that plan so we can go out and perform at a high level on Sunday. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Do you think that Jacoby has shown the rest of the league that he is a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL, even if it is not going to be here in the long term?
Yeah, I don't know that that's Jacoby's focus nor my focus. I would tell you he's performed how we thought he would in his role. But more than that, he's provided outstanding leadership for this football team. Good in the quarterback room, good in the offensive meeting room, good with the team. Has provided a very balanced approach to the group.
I know he signed up for this role, but do you appreciate how difficult it might be knowing his time as a starter is going to end, and then how he's handled all of it?
I mean, I appreciate it, yes. Now, Jacoby's mindset, our mindset is a 1 week mindset, so I think he's really performed well because he's done that. He focuses on what's in front of him, and that's this Tampa game. Now, but really thinking about what has occurred in the past, not thinking about what's coming down the future. And I don't think any of us can afford to think that way. So I think that's what I appreciate the most about him.
Kevin, does Montz jump right up the depth chart, considering that Frohold's going to be out a little bit here?
Yeah, working through it. It's kind of sometimes you get to late November and things can get wonky along certain position groups. So we're working through it. Obviously, Yelda's sick today, so that presents some things that we'll work through today, and I think we'll be all right.
Kevin, is there anybody else that can play center? I mean, that has been here?
Can, yes. Yeah. There's a lot of guys that can do it. Charlie Hewlett. I think we got plenty of guys on the roster that can snap. It's just a matter of getting them proper reps, getting them comfortable with that role.
Hey, Kevin, you always talk about 1 week at a time. Mm-hmm. But when you're 3-7, mm-hmm. how do you keep guys fired up and really focused when the season's not going the way you wanted it?
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about that on Monday. Jeff, just understand what your record are. Yeah, totally get that. That defines you for that moment, for that week. But we have a huge challenge in front of us. It's a very good football team from the other conference. They're coming off their bye. They got great players. We understand who those guys are on offense, defense, special teams. So I think our guys understand the competitive nature of this business, and they want to do anything in their power to get a win, bottom line.
How much more of a concern is the center position, knowing that Vita Villa is waiting?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, Tony. I mean, he's so physically just big. I mean, from a measurement standpoint, and then just the way he moves his feet, it's very, very rare to have a guy that size that moves laterally and then is so powerful. But in terms of the center position, he's a tough player. I mean, it's for any center in the league. So we understand that, understand the challenges that come with that.
At all. Just how do you approach going up against one of the all-time greats to ever do it?
Well, I don't think you think about it that way. I think you have to worry about doing our job. He's a great player. He doesn't take sacks. He doesn't throw interceptions. throws it at a high level. He's on time, accurate. So we really have to defend this offense and defend that pass attack, and again the pass attack that comes off of their play action, which is really good. So those are the challenges, not so much the big picture, if you will.
You talked about him not taking sacks. What is it about him that he's able, because that's been something throughout his career, it seems like he's been able to.
Yeah, there's some guys that play that just don't allow you to sack them. They will take incompletion. They know where to go with the ball. They process really quickly. And when you cover the first, second, third in the progression, the ball's out somewhere safe. Knowing where to get a good incompletion. And I think that's what he's done over his career. Excellent at checking the ball down. Fournette's their third most targeted player. And it just tells you he gets through his progressions. He knows what he's seeing. And I think just comes from obviously the amount of football that he's played. He's an elite processor. Just watching him make decisions with the ball as the down goes on.
Will Sione stay at middle linebacker?
Yes.
What do you like about him?
Well, he's in the middle of it. He's around the football. He did a nice job in his drops, which that's a difficult test. It's not easy to do when you haven't been trained there for a long time. So just the way he was assignment sound in the middle of the action, being physical, he did a nice job.
Just he's the biggest guy you got at that position.
Yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, Tony. Just I think he's a physical tackler, but he did a nice job. That's a fine. He was assignment sound, which is half the battle.
Newsome making good progress. Do you have any idea his prospects?
I don't have an update on Greg. We're just going to continue to work through it.
Okay, same thing
With all the guys, yes.
I was Cormo today about Joe Woods. Obviously, there's been a lot of heat on him, and he said he still believes in them as a coach, but he's still learning about his players and learning the best position. Is that something that should be done in year 3 already, or is that something that is always happening with coaches and players?
I think it's always happening, truly. I think even today, offensively, there's certain things that you're watching a player run and you're thinking, okay, I haven't done that with him. Can he do that? The answer is probably yes. We just got to evolve those type of things. So I think you're constantly trying to know yourself. It's really important to know your opponent, but there's a constant need to know your players, know your scheme, know what the next evolution of your scheme is. All those things are important throughout the season.
During a rough stretch, we've heard from Sione, from JOK, they all have support for Joe. What does that mean to have the players still on his side?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it here. I've talked about it with the team. We all share in it. All of us. We all own what it is, and that's why together we got to make sure that moving forward we focus on 1-0 this week.
Not that you want to share your conversations with Grant and Miles, but you did say that you were going to talk to them about some of the stuff that they said after the game. Did you come away from those conversations with a comfort level that they weren't, calling out coaching, or how did that go?
Yeah, again, as you know, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but with anything, Mary Kay, after losses, there's frustration, and you just have to make sure what you say and what you share is stuff that that you feel good about. And I think it's always important that if there is something on your mind, to have a conversation, with each other about it. Now, in some cases, words can get twisted and those type of things. So both of those guys in particular are very, very committed to this team, very committed to finding a way to win this week.
The game has improved as the season's gone on. What is kind of the secret to the way they're running the ball better?
Yeah, they had a ton of success the last time out. Obviously, you got the rookie runner going a little bit. I think all their backs are good. Fournette presents his own challenges with his size and ability to catch the football. The young kid added a little bit of a spark. So it remains to be seen. Again, they're coming off their bye. What they want to adjust going into the final stretch, I'm not sure, but we got to be ready Sunday to see how that unfolds.
Kevin, when you've given up 150 on the ground in 5 of the last 7 games, seems like the issues started with the injuries to A-Walk and then, of course, Jacob. How much of a role do you feel like those injuries have hurt your run defense?
It's hard for me to pin injuries on anything. Every team, go look at every roster. Everybody's dealing with injuries, so I don't think it's fair to say that. Both those players, and obviously I've spoken about both those players. You want to have all your guys, you miss those guys, but I don't think it's fair to say that.
What would you say is going on with Winfrey right now? I mean, we seem to have a need at somebody to make plays at defensive tackle, and he's not been active.
Yeah, he's going through concussion protocol. Yeah.
And to clarify that, about Winfrey, in the new concussion protocol, I believe that now you can have a head injury that's not necessarily a concussion and still be in the protocol and still have to go through, or are you saying that he does actually have a concussion?
He's working through the protocol. He's going to practice today, so he's not everybody's in the same step, if you will, of the said protocol, but he's coming along. He was in the concussion protocol.